Hey there. I am so excited to be joined by Leo Cannell of Seven Figures Funding. And we wanted to come together today to talk about all the different options that are available for you to invest in yourself through coaching. And I truly believe, as a coach myself and as someone who invests heavily in mentors, investing in yourself through coaching is one of the best investments you can make. And I remember a rule of thumb I heard years ago was you really should aim to invest 5 to 10% of what you want to make an income into your coaching and mentoring every year. And I've just used that as my own rule of thumb. It's what helped me scale to seven figures. And here's the thing though, is we don't always have that capital on hand, whether we're just getting started off or whether our business is in a different season. And so that's why I was so excited to partner with Seven Figures Funding as a funding option for my clients, and why I'm so excited to bring you Leo today. We're going to talk a bit about what it's like to work with their team, talk about some frequently asked questions. So, Leo, I'm super excited to be talking with you today.
It's awesome to be here. We've already enjoyed working, with your community, amazing people who are out there creating products and services that change lives. And we're just happy we can be a part of it and provide some financing sources so that they can grow.
Absolutely. Well, I think if we can just start from the top, like if someone is always either they've cash flowed their business or they've never sought outside funding for their company, or maybe they have through a traditional source and they're not familiar with what you do. I'd love if you could share an overview of how it works, what someone can expect, why you exist. Why don't we start there?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I think at the top of the question for a lot of people is, does it make sense to take out financing to grow your business, to invest in training and coaching, and have money available in a line of credit for marketing and other purposes? And it comes down to, a lot of us are raised different. I'm the oldest of nine kids, so came from a very conservative household when it comes to money. Didn't talk a lot about it. But what you've learned over the years is people like Kevin Plank, who started Under Armour, did so getting $40,000 in small, credit lines to launch that. And the reason why taking out debt for a business is so different than personal reasons is, I always like to give the big screen example. Okay, we've got football coming up here. I'm going to get a $10,000 awesome curved big screen from Best Buy. I'm going to finance it on a 21% interest credit card. Good debt or bad debt? Most
Hmm.
people are going to say bad debt, right? It's not making me any money. I'm going into debt for a personal reason. It's not going to serve me well. But if I do it like Kevin Plank did, or the founders of Google did, and I use creative financing to grow a business that can generate income, that can provide products and services, create jobs, now that's good debt. And that's what Ray Dalio, the billionaire hedge fund investor, says is productivity debt, right? When the
Mm.
government invests in productivity, good things happen. When money's just passed out, it doesn't necessarily generate income and better lives. And so that's what's important for people to understand. There's good debt and there's bad debt when it comes to, financing for your business. So then oftentimes the next question is, okay, so how does it work with you guys? Well, what we've done here at Seven Figures Funding, we've been fortunate to serve thousands of entrepreneurs and business owners and get them funding and financing, is we built a marketplace. And so this marketplace of options, there's essentially three ways you can qualify. You can qualify if you have good personal credit. You don't need to have multiple year history of business tax returns and financials. If you have good credit, there's options. Let's say your score is a little bit lower, down to maybe a 650 FICO score, but you still have a job or verifiable income, or you've been self-employed, have some verifiable history, then there are loan options and line of credit options if you have verifiable personal income. And if you have established that business, and you've got business bank statements showing 10 to 15,000 a month in sales, then you can actually go all the way down to about a 580 or 600 credit score because you have that business financial history. So those are the three ways that someone can qualify for financing. And this is no collateral financing, right? You're not risking your house or your 401k or anything like that with this type of financing. It's unsecured, no collateral required. And so then on our marketplace, there are these different options, right? You've got 0% interest business card stacking, where you can get a 0% interest rate up to as long as 20 months, very affordable monthly payments. You've got personal loan options, 5-year terms up to, a couple $100,000. And then when your business is established, there's actual business lines of credit. And we always, talk about, should I get a loan? Should I get revolving? We traditionally will recommend the line of credit option or revolving credit because you're not paying on it until you use it. But when opportunities come or even a cash flow emergency, now you can tap that line of credit and be able to grow the business.
Yeah. And one of the things that to me, so I actually went through this process myself because I wanted to be able to say, if I'm recommending this to my clients, I want to know what the experience is like. And so to me as a user, a couple things that really stood out. One was how nice it was to have one point of contact that would come back with, here are all the different options. So it's not like you have to go to one place for a certain type of loan and to another place for another. It was, here's all the different options in one. And I felt very empowered to be able to choose what made the most sense for me. And then the process too was, I was very impressed from a process standpoint. I was taking notes of how can we better our internal process based on what the experience was like working with your team, because there was text message notifications, things moved very quickly. I had outreach from a specific loan advisor. So maybe Leo, can you walk a little bit through the process, what it's like after somebody, like if somebody wants to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And usually the number one question a lot of people have, okay, great. I'm excited. I want to get a pre-approval. I want to invest in coaching and training so I can grow my business with Elise and her team. And if I do this, is there going to be any kind of negative impact to my credit? And to get that free pre-approval option, there is absolutely no negative impact to do it. And the reason there isn't is because we've partnered up with Experian, the top credit bureau in the nation, and they have a soft credit pull program where there's no negative impact to your credit to get that free pre-approval. So you basically just come here to the special link that Elise is going to provide you here. You'll click on the Apply Now button, and you'll notice there's just very simple contact information, your residential address, where you live, date of birth, and that's it. And then if you do have business information, put that in there. If you don't, if you're a complete startup pre-revenue, no problem, leave that blank. And then once you click submit here, then you're going to come into our system, and our team is going to, we have a system that will automatically give you all of the different options. We always have a senior underwriter review those options to make sure they're up to date and accurate. And then you're going to be able to schedule up a quick phone call and ask the questions. Our team, your own funding advisor, will present, here are all the options, and then you're in the driver's seat to decide which of these options is going to be best. And we're going to look at not just only financing, to work with Elise and to grow your business and invest, but we want to put you in a better position than we found you. So if you already have some high interest credit cards that are eating you a little bit on your cash flow, we're going to help you move those to new 0% interest accounts, get the money for your coaching training to grow your business, but also save you a lot of money. We'll save some families and business owners or brand new entrepreneurs as much as $10,000 a year, because now instead of paying 21% interest, they're paying 0% interest for the next 18 months and growing their business at the same time.
That's great. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's the theme comes down to being really empowered around your money in all areas, which I feel like this process really helps you do. Leo, final, I'd say 1 to 2 quick questions. I know one thing that people sometimes want to know is, how do I know that this is the best option? How do I know that I can't get something better if I go outside or I go to my bank? So how does somebody know that?
It's a great question. And for me, when I first started doing this a decade ago, that was a question that I had to be able to answer, because if I were in your position and you're looking for financing, I'd want to know that this is the best option that I qualify for and that exists on that marketplace. And that's why we have put this effort and strategized and categorized all of the best options depending on where you live, the type of business industry you're in, your credit, your financials, and then just having a solution at every turn. A lot of the times people will get initially denied for financing because they have some maxed out credit cards. And we understand that process. We'll get you a loan, pay those cards down, raise your credit score 100 points so that then you do qualify for better financing options. And so when we offer you the different options, it's everything. It's 100+ lenders. It's guaranteed to be the best financing option that you qualify for and that exists on that marketplace. And as Elise, as you just said, I mean, we want to educate and empower you because no one taught us about credit and money financing in college and high school. And part of our mission is to provide tools in support with everything that Elise and her team are doing so that you have the best outcome possible.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Anything else, Leo, that you think someone should know if they're considering going through this process, or anything I haven't asked you that you think is important?
Absolutely. The number one factor in making a decision is that you're going to make a return on the money, right? If I go by that big screen on credit,
Yeah.
it's not generating a return. There's no positive money coming in. But if I invest in coaching and training, which is the best investment I can make, Elise is giving you directions on a roadmap to success, and you're going to implement these strategies. That's financing that's going to generate a substantial return, maybe 200-300% on that money is what a lot of our customers will generate. And so you're going to easily be able to pay that financing back, knowing that you're generating a strong return with that money.
Yeah, such a great point. Each and every client I work with, and for myself too, when I hire a mentor, it's like there's got to be a return, right? And that's why we do it, and
Absolutely.
that's why we take, it's why we make the investment. So, we will link my personal application link below to this video. Leo, thank you so much for your time and for coming on and explaining the process and for empowering our community to be able to invest in themselves to go to the next level. So, really appreciate you.
My pleasure. We're excited to serve your community. Amazing people who are going to do great things.
Awesome.